another issue. Gotta go in and see why this Riello oil burner keeps tripping. I replaced a whole bunch of parts, and then it's intermittently tripping again and again. And it's getting kind of frustrating 2 days before Christmas. Better get this figured out. He's saying that it might have went back off again, so I'll be very curious to find if that's true. I'm bringing the Riello electrodes with me. I feel like maybe the electrodes are in bad shape. That's what happens when a Riello is in safety lockout. It's lit up. Let's listen. Combustion fan. I just did the igniter, CAD cell. Yeah, delayed ignition. Went to light, excess fuel, lit off with a bang. With a whoosh, because it's not lighting off quick, not lighting off clean. I'm wondering if those electrodes have got a crack in the porcelain and it's time to replace them. I already did all the filters, strainer nozzle. Like I said, the igniter primary control, CAD cell, cleaned it. New fuel pump not that long ago, a year ago, not even. I put this on, that's new. Cut that off. Either somebody's selling somebody some junk fuel, or I don't know what it is, but wetness. I literally just cleaned this a week ago. It's hard to see through the camera, through the video, guys, but I don't know. I'm gonna start with those electrodes. See if we can't get a better clean ignition. Bad porcelains will ground out the ignition off to the side, and it won't develop a full spark. I switched out the leads down here because those ones were too long, so I put on the ones that fit it. But this is all new. I don't know. I just don't trust them. Well, I see something on here that looks like biofuel film that's caked on there and cooked on there. It's almost like a vegetable oil. I'm gonna have to confirm with the client, because if they've got biofuel in this, and depending on the blend percentage, I have had issues with that. That's that all back together. I put a new nozzle in it and new electrodes, so nothing here should be wrong now. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be freak if it's biofuel that's causing this issue. Makes you wonder, but maybe not. I feel that does not help with this is that the cold air dumping in is freezing cold, ice cold, man. So stinking cold. Still nothing. Took the drawer assembly out and I adjusted the electrodes back just a little bit closer to the nozzle. Even though 60-degree nozzle, usually we have those out a little bit further. But anyway, I brought it back just a little bit, see if that helps. I also dropped the air back a little bit too, knowing that it's got so much cold air. It is now wintertime. If I did a tune-up on this and it was the summertime, you know, I could have given it a little bit more air at that time. So now it's rich in oxygen, something that I should have checked right from the get-go. But anyway, I didn't, whatever. But a lot of cold air coming down in, and this has the sealed combustion cover, so it's getting rich oxygen. And if there's a little excess air, that can cause a misfire as well when it doesn't want to light up. Let's see how it lights up this time. Okay, I should light right off, I would hope, but we'll see. Click, click, bang. The only other thought is the oil solenoid valve not kicking in, if that's possibly an issue. That was a pretty quick light off. A little bit of a bang still. But it does have an outside chimney. That's not helpful at all. Goes out through the sidewall and out. So that's an issue in itself. Definitely lighting a lot faster, a lot quicker. And I'm gonna do a combustion test. Let's see if it's off and how far the combustion is off. One last retry. Sometimes when these have been down for a while, it hasn't called for heat in a while, and everything cools down, it's gonna have a little bit harder time lighting because there's gonna be a lot of cold air coming in and a lot of just cold air sitting in it. And other times it could also have a hell of a draft. A lot of cold air dumping in, and it just has a natural cycle where cold air is just pouring through it. It's pulling air from outside, and then it's also exhausting to the outside. So it's just not ideal. And it is cold, 16 degrees, cold enough. But yeah, that lit off great. How it should light off. A little bit of a thump, but I can live with that. That was right on. I mean, so that thump will definitely die down and go away as soon as that chimney starts to get warm. All right, let's do a combustion test. So this will tell us how much excess air we have, excess oxygen, and it will tell us our efficiency, our CO2, and like I said, excess air, stack temperature, oxygen, and CO. We're just gonna let it run as long as possible here. Typically, it's like ideal is like 15 minutes. If you can keep it on for 15 minutes, you want to get to that steady state efficiency. You want it to get to a point where it's actually running. I mean, at least 5-10 minutes. You want that thing running, and now it has been at least almost 5 minutes. So I want to get it warmed up, get it running, so I know that it's stabilized for the most part. And you want to wait long enough on the display here to make sure that has also stabilized to where your readings are pretty much final.
Problem I'm already seeing is I've got a pretty good CO2. That's not really a problem, but the excess air is pretty low. Efficiency 88%. That's a little bit high, to be honest with you. And then stack temp would be nice. Yes, it'd be nice if that would keep climbing up. At least 300 in there, 350. But I like what it's doing right now. So this is good. I just want to make sure that I'm not running into a sooty issue at that high of efficiency. So I got to do a smoke test. So I did just do a smoke test, and I've got a clear reading. I've got nothing on the paper, so that's a good thing. I do about 12 pumps with the smoke sampler. More worried about that, or was more mindful of that, just because I did cut back oxygen. When you cut back air on an oil burner, you cut it back too far, you could get a sooty burn, and it could soot up the heat exchanger, it could soot up the flue pipe eventually there. I like it towards 300, 87, I'll live with that. So take a snapshot of that. Matter of fact, I can stop this, and I can write that down. Oh yeah, minute. 300, there we go. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking with grease. Shut it down, and then we're gonna relight it again and see how we do. It's pretty warm now. There's a current draft. I mean, that's right on. I'm cool with that. It was not that. So I think we're on the money. Take, and there's the chimney. And boys, it is cold. So that's not ideal. I just want to go home. I just headed back a mile out of a driveway in the dark in my van. I can't see nothing. And the stupid backup alarm is beeping constant. You know how annoying that is?